Here's something most men don't realize. The things that truly drive a woman wild aren't always the obvious ones. It's not dear money, your looks, or even the perfect pickup line. It's those subtle, confident moves you make, often without even knowing, that flip a switch in her mind. The kind of moves she can explain, but she feels them deeply, because attraction for women is far more psychological than physical. Think a booty. Every man has met a woman who acted like she wasn't into him at first. They couldn't stop thinking about him later. That's not luck. That's chemistry created by behavior, by energy, presence, and how you make her feel. You see, women don't always respond to what they see. They respond to what they sense. A man who knows how to move, speak, and act with quiet confidence creates an emotional reaction that logic can interrupt. And that's what this topic is all about. In today's world, too many men overthink attraction. They chase validation, try to impress, or play it too safe. But the truth is, theme moves that make a woman crave your presence aren't about trying harder. They're about understanding what really turns her on mentally and emotionally. Because when you can reach that level, she feels drawn to you without even knowing why. So, in this video, we are going to break down the 6 subtle moves that make women feel that unexplainable. These are not pickup tricks or manipulation. They're natural masculine behaviors that awaken her feminine instincts. When done right, these moves make her lean in, feel excited, and emotionally hooked on your energy. Welcome to the channel. This is where we dig deep into female psychology, attraction, and the things women won't admit out loud, but absolutely feel inside. So pay attention, because when you understand these moves, you'll start noticing women respond to you in ways soon didn't think were possible. 1. The power of calm control. Power of calm control. One of the most irresistible things a man can do, and most men don't even realize this, is stay calm when everything around him is trying to pull him out of control. That quiet, grounded presence does something to a woman that words can't explain. It signals strength, certainty, and emotional maturity. The kind of energy thought makes her feel safe and turned on at the same time. When a man stays calm, he becomes practical in the best way. Most guys react fast. They get flustered when a woman tests them, nervous when she goes quiet, or desperate when she pulls away. But the man who stays composed, that is man she can't read, and that mystery creates emotional tension. The good kin thought keeps her thinking about him long after the moment is over. Picture this. You're on a date and she tries to throw you off with a playful tease. Maybe she questions something you say to her, goes silent to see how you'll respond. Most men would start explaining themselves or trying to win her back with validation. But if you just smile, stay relaxed, and hold your ground, that's power. You've just shown her that their emotions don't control yours. And that changes everything. Control doesn't mean being cold or emotionless. It means being steady, centered in yourself, no matter what she does. It's about responding, not reacting. When you speak, your words carry weight because they are not rushed or emotional. When you look at her, you say, I'm here and I'm not affected. That's magnetic. Women crave that energy echoes it creates. Emotional polarity. Her emotions can move freely because yours are anchored, you see. Women subconsciously test mento, see if they can handle intensity, not because they want to break you, but because they want to feel your strength. Your calmness is that strength. It's not about dominance or control over her. It's control over yourself. And when she feels that, she trusts your leadership. So, the next time you're tempted to react, whether she's being distant, moody, or challenging, slow down, breathe, stay composed. Your calm control will speak louder than anything you could say. It's one of those moves that doesn't shout, doesn't show off, but leaves a lasting impression that lingers in her mind because she can explain it. But that calm confidence drives her wild. 2. Eye contact. That eye contact that says everything's easy. Everything. There's a kind of eye contact that makes a woman forget what she was about to say. It's not forced. It's not a stare down. It's that steady, grounded look that communicates scan finds without needing words. Most men look away too quickly, afraid off bong, too intense. But that's exactly the problem. When you break eye contact too soon, you break connection. You see, women feel energy through your eyes. The way you look at her tells her everything she needs to know about your confidence, your intent, and how much control you have over your emotions. When you look at her with quiet assurance, not seeking approval, not trying to impress, she feels it. That and spoken communication create attraction on a level that logic can't explain. Here's the truth. A man's gazette can make a woman feel desired, safe, and excited all at once, but only if it comes from the right place. When your eye contact says, "I see you," instead of, "I need you to like me," it flips a switch in her. It triggers her feminine side, the part that responds to strength, not neediness. This doesn't mean you should stare at her like you're in a staring contest. It's about balance, being present, focused, and intentional. When you're talking, don't dart your eyes around the room. Stay connected. When she's talking, listen with your eyes, not just your ears. That subtle attentiveness tells her you're grounded and in control. And that's extra rare. Another thing, women can sense the difference between a man who's confident in his gaze and one who's hiding insecurity behind it. If you're nervous or unsure, it shows in your eyes. That's why it's not about faking confidence. It's about being present. Breathe, relax your body, and stop thinking about what she's thinking. Just be there. When your eyes are calm and steady, they say, "I'm comfortable with myself." And that's what makes her feel something deep. Because when a woman locks eyes with a man who isn't flinching, fidgeting, or shrinking away, she feels it in her body. It's primal. It's not about words. It's about energy. Eye contact, when done right, doesn't just make her attracted. It makes her respect you. It sets the tone. It shows her that you don't crumble under pressure. You're emotionally solid. And that's the kind of man a woman wants to be around. The one whose eyes tell her, "You can't shake me." She might not be able to explain why, but that silent, confident gaze will stick with her long after the conversation ends. Because the truth is, when your eyes speak with quiet strength, you don't have to say mock at all. 3. The unexpected pause. One of the most powerful and overlooked moves a man can make with a woman is the pause. The unexpected silence. The moment you don't rush to fill that space. Most men underestimate it because a thinks silence means awkwardness. But to a woman, a man who's comfortable with pauses feels confident, grounded, and in control of himself. You see, most guys are conditioned to keep conversations flowing, to impress her with words, jokes, or charm. But when you pause, when you take a moment before responding, or let a quiet beat hang in the air, it changes the energy. It makes her lean in. She starts wondering what's going on in your mind. That curiosity draws her closer. A pause communicates self as SEO rants. It shows that you're not nervous. You're an at seeking approval, and you don't need to fill every second with noise to feel validated. Instead, you're fully comfortable in your own skin. That makes you magnetic. Women interpret that stillness as strength because it's so rare. The pause works because it creates contrast. Think about it. Most men rush through interactions trying to keep his hair entertained or interested. But a man who knows how to use silence as tins out. He creates tension, the good kind. And tension is one of the main ingredients of attraction. It keeps her emotionally engaged because she can feel thought you're not in a hurry. You're leading the rhythm, not chasing it. That's the key. Pacing women are deeply responsive to third rhythm of an interaction. If you slow it down, she feels it. When you pause before answering a question, she wonders what you're thinking. When you pause mid-sentence to hold eye contact, she feels that spark of tension in her body. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Using the pause effectively is about awareness. It's knowing when to let things breathe, when to give her space to feel your presence. Rather than your words, you don't need to overthink it or make it awkward. Just get comfortable with not rushing. It's that confidence in your timing that separates. Men who talk from men, hook 'em into tension. Here's the truth. Women are drawn to men who can create emotional suspense. The pause does exactly that. It keeps her guessing, keeps her intrigued. And Makesha experiences you as someone who's in full control of himself, not semi-nurturing to please her. She might not be able to describe why it feels so intense when you go silent for a few seconds. But she'll feel it because in that space, that unexpected pause, you communicate more confidence than 1,000 words ever could. For the way you touch her mind first, you touch her mind first. Here's what most men miss. Attraction doesn't start in a woman's body. It starts in her mind. If you can touch her mind first, everything else follows naturally. Most men go straight for the physical. They try to impress her with compliments, money, or looks. But none of that sticks if you haven't sparked her imagination. A woman's desire begins where she feels emotionally and mentally seen. Touching her mind first means connecting with her on a deeper level than surface talk. It's when your words, tone, and presence make her feel that you understand her without needing to say too much. It's when you make her feel something inside, not just react to something outside. You do this by being genuinely curious about her world, not be trying to show off yours. Ask questions that make her think, not just stones that fill silence. Listen. Truly listen to what she says. When she feels that, you're actually engaged, not waiting for your turn to talk. It separates you instantly from every other man she's met. But here's the catch. Don't overdo it. Touching her mind doesn't mean becoming her therapist or being overly emotional. It's about being mentally stimulating. Challenge her gently. Tease her thoughts. Disagree respectfully. Create a back and forth that feels alive, not predictable. Women find mental tension incredibly attractive. It keeps them alert, curious, and drawn in. A man who can hold an intelligent, playful, and emotionally aware conversation has power most men never discover. You're showing her that you're more than just a body. You're a presence that you're capable of leading both emotionally and intellectually. And when she feels that, her attraction deepens in a way that surprises even her. Another part of touching her mind. First is emotional control. When you speak with purpose, when your words are deliberate instead of rushed, you project calm strength. She feels that she can relax around you because you are not trying to prove anything. That's when her guard drops. That's when she starts to imagine you differently. Not as another man trying to get her attention, but as someone who gets her. Here's the truth. When you touch a woman's mind, you bypass her defenses. You awaken her imagination. And once a woman starts imagining you, she's already emotionally involved. She may not even realize it's happening, but she'll find herself thinking about your conversations, your tone, your energy, the way you made her feel. That's the MO of most men never master. The ability to touch her mind before her body. Because when you reach her there first, her attraction becomes emotional, not just physical. And that's the kind that lasts. 5. Owning the space you're in. Owning the space you're in. There's something magnetic about a man who owns the space he's in. It's not about being loud, flashy, or trying to dominate the room. It's about presence. That quiet confidence that says, I belong here. A woman feels it before I'll even speak. The way you move, the way you sit, the way you stand, it all communicates how you see yourself. And when you carry yourself like a man who's grounded and secure, she feels that energy immediately. Picture this. You walk into a room not rushing to be noticed, not trying to impress anyone. You take your time. You move with calm purpose. You're not seeking attention, but your presence energy draws it. That's what owning space looks like. It's subtle, but powerful. And it makes women instinctively more curious about you. Owning the space starts with body language. Your posture, your movement, your eye contact. These things speak louder than words. When you walk, do it with relaxed confidence. When you sit, take your time to get comfortably instead of fidgeting or appearing tense. Keep your shoulders open, not hunched. Small details like this sends a bunch of signals that you're comfortable in your own skin. and that makes her feel comfortable too. Beauty's not just physical space, it's emotional space. When you talk, don't trust your words or over-explain. Take pauses. Let silence exist without panic. This shows that you're not afraid off the moment. You're leading the rhythm off the interaction. Women love a man who doesn't seem rushed, desperate, or runacy. It tells her you're in control, not just of the situation, but off yourself. Another layer of owning your space is energy. Some men walk into a room and give off tension. You can feel their insecurity. Others enter calmly, grounded, with an aura that commands respect without saying anything. That energy comes from self-acceptance, from knowing who you are and not needing external approval to validate it. 6. Masculine silence. That masculine silence that speaks. Volume speaks volumes. There's something powerful about a man who knows when not to speak. Masculine excellence isn't about being cold, distant, or mysterious for attention. It's about knowing that your energy and presence already say enough. Most men think they need to keep talking, explaining, or proving something to hold a woman's interest. But the truth is, when Yauk know how to use silence confidently, it draws her in even more. Women are emotional creatures. They pick up energy, tone, and body language more than words. When you're quiet but grounded, she starts to feel your presence instead of just hearing it. That quiet masculine composure sends a message. I don't need to perform for you. I'm already enough. And that, mature, pay attention. Masculine silence is attractive because it creates space for her to feel. Most men talk too much when they're nervous, trying to fill every second with conversation. But the man who can sit comfortably in silence, make eye contact, and hold that stillness, he's rare. She senses your control. She senses that you're not seeking approval. You're relaxed in yourself, and that gives her permission to relax too. Think about it. The loudest man in the room rarely commands the most respect. It's the one who doesn't say much, but when he does, people listen. That's masculine silence in action. It's the difference between UAs and authority. When you're comfortable with silence, every word you do speak gains weight. But here's what most men get wrong. Silence isn't about being emotionally detached. It's about being intentional. You're nurturing her. You're allowing the momento breathe. You're listening, observing, and staying present. When she talks, you don't interrupt. You don't rush to respond. You let her finish, then reply calmly and confidently. That kind of energy tells her you're a man who thinks before he reacts. And that's rare. This quiet strength also keeps you mysterious. A woman can't figure out a man who doesn't overshare or over-explain himself. It makes her curious. It keeps her guessing. She starts wondering what's going on in your mind. And that curiosity turns into emotional attraction. 7. Unbothered energy. Unbothered energy. Her ultimate weakness. Ultimate weakness. If there's one thing that truly gets under a woman's skin in the best possible way, it's a man with unbothered energy. The kind of man who doesn't chase, doesn't flinch, doesn't react emotionally every time she store pulls back. That calm indifference is intoxicating to her because it speaks to something deeper. Power, and not the kind of power that controls others, but the kind that comes from complete control over yourself. Unbothered energy tells her you're not desperate for approval. You're not easily shaken. And you're not relying on her reaction to validate your worth. You're grounded. You're in your own lane. That's what makes you different from most men. Because most men lose composure the moment a woman acts distant or complicated. They panic. They chase. They start questioning. Them's Vol. But when you stay centered, she feels it. She may act like shadows scent care. But deep down, that self-assured calm makes her feel something she can't ignore. Here's the interesting part. Women often ask men to see how much power they really have. It's not malicious. It's instinctive. She wants to know if you're emotionalistable, if you can handle her intensity with it falling apart. The man who passes those tests isn't the loudest or its most dominant. He's the one who stays composed. That calmness communicates more veluth than any sweet words ever could. Unbothered doesn't mean cold or emotionless. It means your emotions don't control your actions. You can feel attraction, frustration, or disappointment, but you don't react impulsively to any of it. That's what separates men who attract women naturally from those who constantly low-sire power. Because when you're Runbethard, you project a kind of freedom that women crave. Think about it. How many men lose their balance, Weena? Woman goes quiet or pulls away. They start texting more, questioning her, trying to fix things. But the man with Runbethard energy, he doesn't chase uncertainty. He matches her to stance with calm. He's not playing games. He's just refusing to be emotionally led. That's strength, and it's rare. Here's some honest criticism. Too many men let their emotions dictate their moves. They give away their power in moments of insecurity. But if you truly want to drive a woman wild, master the art of emotional detachment. Stay composed when she tries to get a reaction. Smile when she expects you to crumble. Show her that your peace can't be shaken. Conclusion here. Single quotes. Ask the truth. Attraction isn't something you can force. It's something you create through your presence, your mindset, and your control. Every move we've talked about, the calm control, the confident eye contact, the pause, the mental connection, the way you own your space, your masculine excellence, and your unbothered energy. They all come down to one thing, self-mastery. A woman, I tell you, she wants a man who's sweet, caring, or romantic. And sure, those things matter. But what truly drives her wild are the moves that awaken her instincts. The moments that make her feel your confidence without you having to prove it. She can't explain it logically, but she feels it emotionally. And that's what makes the difference. Here's a thought most men like to hear. The less you need her, the more she wants you. That's the controversial truth behind masculine energy. When you're centered in who you are, when you don't chase or bend for approval, women respect and desire you more. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. So don't just watch this video and move on. Reflect. Ask yourself, which of these moves do I already have and which do I need to master? Because every time you improve your self-control, your awareness, your aura energy, you become more magnetic without even trying now. I'd love to hear from you. Which own of these 6 moves do you think women respond to most? Drop it in the comments below, and I'll be reading and replying. Let's build this conversation, Tiger, Manto Man, because once you'll master these moves, she'll feel you long before you even touch her.